Hello all, welcome to Anand Learning Studio. In this video of series Python Basic to Advanced, we will be learning about string functions. So in the last lecture, we have learned strings and its operations. How are we going to work with strings? So we have learned what are strings and how we can index and slice a particular string. Also, we have touch pointed few of the functions in string. But later on, I realized that it would be better to create a separate video which will be covering all the major functions which that is predefined functions of string. So in this particular video, we will be covering almost all of the major predefined functions of string. So without a delay, let's jump into the video. So suppose I am having the string s which is having hello world, hello Python. Now, the first function is upper. So what this particular function does, this particular function returns an uppercase instance of a particular string s. So if let's execute it and let's call upper on this particular s. So as you can see, we are applying this upper function on string s. Okay, s dot upper, and the result of this will be an uppercase. All of the characters will be converted into uppercase. So if you'll observe, we have received a different an instance of uppercase string, but original string is still in lowercase. So it is point to be noted that when you apply an uppercase to a particular string, it will return only an instance of uppercase. Original string will not change. In order to change the original string, you will have to reassign it to that variable. So suppose I will reassign it to s only. I will say s dot upper, and now if I'll execute, and it will return an instance of uppercase and then assign that particular instance back to s. So now my s will be a all uppercase string. Similarly, if we will go and check the lower case, so lower function, what it will do, it will return you an instance of all lowercase characters. Again, if I'll say s dot lower, I am applying this lower function on string s. It will return me all lowercase characters for that particular string. Now this is only an instance of this string s. My original string s is still the same. It is still in the uppercase only. So again, if I want to change it, I will have to say s equals to s dot lower. And now if I'll execute, my original string will also change. So now, whenever I'll say, okay, I'm applying this particular function on a particular string and it is returning an instance of the string, it should be clear that, okay, it is only returning an instance, a new instance of that particular function after applying that particular function. Original string is unchanged. So I will not be reassigning it again and again. Let's quickly see the next particular function. The next particular function is capitalize. What does capitalize do? Capitalize simply returns you a first letter as uppercase. So if I'll go and execute this particular and say s dot capitalize, and if we will execute it, you can see only the first character is capitalized. It and other characters are unchanged. So capitalize generally we use whenever we want to refer to a particular name, or we want to capitalize a name of a person or a city in that case. Again, case fold, what it does, it basically returns you a it returns you an instance of a string which is like suitable for caseless comparison. Okay, means it doesn't matter whatever is the case passed, it will return you the that particular string in lowercase only. So doesn't matter whatever is the string. If you will apply case fold on a string, it will return you all lowercase all lowercase of that string. So if I say s dot case fold, and it will return you all lowercase. So we use mainly this whenever we want to compare a particular string and we don't know what case it is. So either I can say that particular dot lower and then equal to, but maybe that particular string is in uppercase. So when we are not sure, we should be using this case fold, and LHS and RHS both can be converted and compared. Now this count, what does this count do? It returns you non-overlapping occurrences of a substring. So if I'll say s dot count, and if I'll say hello, now this is saying me, it is returning me 0. Why? Because currently if you'll see, my s is having all lowercase characters. So if I pass this h as in uppercase, it is returning me 0 instance. But what if I'll say s dot count and hello? Now there are two hellos in this particular string and it will return me 2. So count will return you non-overlapping occurrences of a substring. Ends with basically checks is your particular string ends with the particular character whatever you are passing in the ends with function. If it is, then it will return you true, else it will return you false. So in this case, suppose if I'll check s dot ends with, and like if I want to check whether it ends with an exclamation or not. So if my string ends with exclamation, it will return true or else it will return false. So in my case, it is not. The exclamation is only after the first particular sentence. So if I'll say s dot ends with, but if I'll say and now it will return me true because yes, my particular string ends with the n character. Similarly, the find function, what it will do, it will return you the first occurrence of that particular substring. If I'll say okay, find me s dot find world, so wherever this world is starting, that particular index will be returned, that particular index value will be returned. Okay, you can use the first occurrence is basically returned. If you will be finding hello, it will be returning you 0. Now index is used to return the index of a particular character. So if I'll see check s dot index of W, it will return me the index of character W. Now is elnum is alpha and the next set of functions is basically the return of these functions will be boolean, and what these are doing, this basically checks the composer of your string, whether your string is made up of all numbers, or is it made up of alpha numbers, alpha numeric, or is it made up of digit, because any set of character when we enclose in single quote, double quote, or triple quote, it becomes a string. So even if you enclose the sum of the digits, it will be showing as a string. But what if you want to know whether your string is made up of digit or numbers or alphanumeric? So then we will be using all these functions. So let's start first with is elnum. If is, I will check is s elnum, is elnum, it will be returning me false. Correct, because my s is only alphabets plus an exclamation sign. But suppose if I'll say any character like a, which is equal to some hello 1 2 3. Now if I'll check a dot is elnum, it will now give me true. Correct. Similarly, is alpha check returns true if your string is having all alphabetic characters only, no other character. So in this case, if I'll check s dot is alpha, it will return false. Why false? Because you are having an exclamation sign in your s. It is not only alphabets. Similarly, if you check a dot is alpha, it will again return you false. But suppose if I'll say b equals to mhm, b equals to python. Now if I'll check what is the composer, means is b made up of only alphabets, now it will return me true. Okay, so that's what is the use of is alpha. Now if I'll go and check is digit function returns true if your string is made up of only digits. It will return false in all other cases. So let's quickly see. A dot is digit. Your A is made up of alphabets plus numbers. It is not only made up of numbers. So in this case, what it will do? It should return false. But suppose if I say C equals to 1 2 3 4 5. Now your C is made up of only numbers, and now if I check C dot is digit, it will return me true. Okay. Similarly, is lower function checks whether your string is already in lowercase or not. So if I'll say s dot is lower, it will return me true. And if I'll say a dot is low, sorry, upper is the next function, is upper returns you if your string true, it returns you true only if your string is in uppercase. If I'll say s dot is upper, it will return you false. But suppose if I am having some string like this, python dot is upper, now if I am applying this is upper function on a string which is having all uppercase character, it should return true. So that's what is upper is doing. Okay, now if you want to check whether your string is made up of only space, like suppose it might happen that there is a string but there is a space inside it, or it might happen there is no space inside it. So if you want to check whether there is space inside a particular string, it means a string is made up of only spaces or not, you can use is space. If it is, then it will return true, else false. In this case, it will return false. But if my string is like this, dot is space, it will return true. Okay, sorry, this should have been a part of, okay, cool. And now this lstrip function. What lstrip is doing? It will remove the characters from the left side of the string. So whatever you are passing it, it will be removing. If you are passing a string with some initial empty spaces, initial white spaces, so it will trim out those characters, trim out those white space characters from the left. And R strip will do the same if there are some trailing white spaces. And strip function will be removing the white spaces from both left and the right hand side. Let's see all these in action. So suppose I have a string, some space, hello, and then some space, dot lstrip. If I will apply, what lstrip will do, it will return only left side trimmed white spaces. It will not remove the right hand side white spaces. Similarly, for r strip, if I will be applying the same with r strip, it will just remove the white space characters from the right side, that is the trailing ones, not the left hand sides. And you can see it has removed the trailing white spaces, but it has not removed the leading white spaces. And strip function, what it will do, it will remove white spaces from both the direction. It will remove it from both the directions. So hello, and then dot strip will remove the white spaces from both the directions. Now similarly, we have a function called split. What the split function is doing, it is basically splitting up your string on the given separator, on the given separator. So suppose I have a string, like in the above we have string s. Okay, what is the string s? This string s is having hello world and hello python. Now if I want to split up this string based on white spaces, so what I will say, s dot split and do it on white spaces. So what this will do, it will split this particular string on white spaces. Wherever it will start from left, and wherever it will find a white space, it will return you one substring. Then again it will iterate, and when again it will find the next white space, it will return you the next substring. Similarly, it will return you all the substrings from this given string. Again, the s will be unchanged. Okay, it has returned you a list of all substrings. Okay, and those substrings are derived are splitted based on white spaces. So if I say li, let's store it in a list so that we can use it on the next function. S dot split, and yeah, now I got a list which is having all the substring. Now what this join is doing, this join is basically concatenating the strings. So if I basically if I will be passing an iterator and I want to join them based on any something, on any character or spaces, I can use the join operator. Like in this case, suppose I want to do a join of li. What it will do, now you can see whatever iterable I have passed, it has joined that iterable on the given character. If I want to again join them based on spaces, I can say dot join and li. It will return me a joint a string. It will return me a string which is basically joined by the given character. So that's all for this video. Thank you, and if you like this video, please hit the like button and do subscribe my channel. Thank you.